welcome to W.M.S.T podcast episode number 43. I am your host, Syed. Make sure you like and subscribe and share the video and audio links. So tonight's episode, we're going to cover AEW Full Gear. We're going to talk about a little bit of the WWE Saudi drama, and we're going to cover NXT invading Raw and SmackDown. So here is your cast for tonight. We've got Editor-in-Chief Ziggler. What up, Ziggler?
I can't believe she's actually interested in Paul, whatever his name is, KSI. Shit's stupid as hell.
It's actually kind of random. He started talking about boxing. I was like, where is this coming from?
They're all doing it for attention.
Yeah.
And of course, posted that in the chat.
Yeah. And of course, we got everybody's favorite weirdo and mine, Cam. What up, Cam?
It's missing John Cena hours.
Yeah, true. He was on the NFL kickoff show, right, for Thursday Night Football?
He was on the halftime show for Thursday Night Football to promote his
new movie. Yeah, it's true. I do miss John Cena sometimes, especially looking at the way the roster is now. It's like they need somebody like Cena on that roster. I'm talking about Raw, actually, not SmackDown. But yeah, let's get into the show. We're gonna cover AEW Full Gear as this was the go home. Last Wednesday was the go home show for AEW Full Gear. So let's go over the card and give our thoughts on the card and who the potential winners are gonna be. So we got the triple threat tag team match for the tag team championship. We got the Lucha Brothers versus Private Party versus SCU, the champs. We got a rubber match between Hangman Page and Pac. We've got Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks. And we got the women's championship match between Rio and Emi Sakura. We have a singles match between Britt Baker and Bea Priestley. We got Shawn Spears versus Joey Janela. And we got the lights out match, aka unsanctioned match between Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. And finally, we've got the heavy hitter, Cody versus Chris Jericho for the AEW World title. And I got to quickly cover that promo Cody did last Wednesday. I mean, that was one of the best babyfaces promos I've ever seen cut in a really long time. And it really got me hyped for the match. Like, the pure emotion he showed in that promo was really awesome. And it really, the build-up for this match has been really solid. And Jericho parodying Cody's vignette from a few weeks ago, that was really hilarious. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this match. There was an interesting thing on Twitter where it was like, I think I saw on one of the AEW accounts where like they said if this match went to a 60-minute draw, there would be like 3 judges to decide who the winner was. I was like, that's kind of odd, like announcing that beforehand. Like, it's almost as if we should anticipate that.
Watch it go an hour just for that.
Yeah, I'm like, that would be really odd if that happened. Also, this isn't.
I'm not sure if Jericho can go an hour.
Right, and I mean, I'm not even sure if this works in theory. Like, wrestling matches aren't like boxing matches where you can count the hits
have like
or whatever.
A round system, or like I think Impact did that same thing with the Grand Championship. They had like a round system.
Boxing and MMA go by like who wins the rounds, and the person who won the most rounds wins. This doesn't have rounds.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only example I can think of. Impact's Grand Championship.
Yeah, I don't know what the judges would base the winners off of. Like, oh, Cody performed better, he gets my vote. Like, I don't get how that works.
Who was more dominant in the match.
Who
which
did
the heels
more?
are more dominant in matches.
So Chris Jericho would win. But
Yeah.
that's not even the interesting part. The interesting part is Cody said in the promo that if he doesn't win the AEW World Title, he will never challenge for the World Title ever again. Now, when I heard that, I was like, okay, that's it. There is no way Cody's losing at Full Gear. Like, imagine if Cody loses, right? Now they have to keep that promise, like Cody can
It's
never
not
challenge
like
for.
say I won't challenge for the world title as long as this guy is the champion. Like it's been in wrestling before. I can think of multiple times that WWE has done it, but
Yeah,
it's not like that.
yeah,
It's, if I lose, I ain't challenging for the thing.
Maybe he isn't interested in the title picture. Maybe he just wants to be like more behind the scenes guy and do like special
Probably
matches, I
that.
guess, with
yeah.
like guys like Sean Spears and you know.
But I
Like
don't know.
that
Like
one.
Cody should definitely be the champ at least one time in his run in the AEW as a
They
wrestler.
they need an authority figure, to be honest.
Not
Like
really. I don't really like
like a
authority
good
figures.
like a great authority figure is like William Regal. He's just there when he's needed, and he doesn't like do a lot of shit. But like
Yeah,
we need like an
Or
authority figure like that. Maybe like an Arn Anderson. Maybe that'd be dope.
a
yeah,
Someone
commissioner
else.
like Mick Foley
DDP.
or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
Commissioner.
yeah. Get freaking DDP to do it. He's
I
cool.
guess that does make sense. That means if Cody loses, he won't be in the world title picture ever again. I mean, I don't know. Like, I have kind of mixed feelings on that because I do want Cody to be the world champion a few times because that was my big thing with him in WWE. I was like, there is no way this guy ceiling is only winning the Intercontinental title and the US title. Like, he's a future world champion for sure. And I feel like that should happen in AEW as well.
He
Then they
can be
don't
a
have a
tag
mid card
champion with
belt
Dustin.
yet.
Yeah, sure, but that's the same thing he was doing in WWE. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
he should be given a chance as a world champion. He was a world champion in ROH, but like he
Sure, he
needs to
won
do
the
that.
NWA title at All In.
Right, exactly. So I feel like he should. I mean, I don't know. He's definitely a guy I feel like should be champ at least once.
But don't you think it's way too early for Jericho to lose the title? Like he just won it in
Yeah,
August.
that's the
Kind
thing.
of
They
booking themselves in the corner. Like, do
cornered.
we
That's
have Jericho lose the belt this early, or do we not give
I
Cody the
mean,
title?
Jericho's on fire now with his whole faction and stuff. His character's on
well.
fire, man.
Well, what if they're setting up the finish where the match does go to a 60-minute draw? Maybe if he loses via the judges, decision, maybe then it's like, okay, no, he can still challenge because he never lost the match. It was a judge's
Or
decision.
or like say maybe Jake Hager or somebody interferes in the match and he loses because of that. And Cody was
He'll
like, "Hey,
probably
that
get
shit's not
screwed out of
fair."
it.
Yeah,
I
like AEW
said,
hasn't
yeah.
done an interference a finish at all. Like they haven't done that kind of finish.
Well, no, not like an interference finish. Like maybe Jake Hager like hits him with like a freaking chair or whatever behind the referee's back, and Jericho hits a code breaker or something like
Or
that
the
and
ref
wins.
gets knocked out.
Yeah, something like that.
Hager jumps him. Judas effect.
Yeah. Or while Jericho, he passes out, Maybe he's bleeding. Maybe do his Stone Cold route in WrestleMania 13.
Yeah, I think they'll book
Like, there's
around that.
many possibilities that they can do this.
Yeah, but I feel like adding that stipulation, like people are really interested now. Like now it's not now like you actually don't know who's gonna win. Like either Jericho can win or Cody can win. And I like that about this match. Like it's unpredictable. Yeah, you don't
That's
know
why
who's
they
gonna
probably
win.
did it too.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we all knew Jericho was going to win, but now we really don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. So what other matches are you guys looking forward to from the card?
I mean, it has to be the unsanctioned match, John
Oh yeah,
Moxley
of
and
course, true.
Kenny Omega. And you're right; those promos are good. Like the promo from John Moxley, what was it, last week? When he just did a promo on Kenny Omega and Tony Khan, like saying like, oh, it won't count on your record if you beat Omega. And
Yeah, it was last week. Yeah.
yeah, and that was a pretty dope promo too. They're doing
That's
really good
something
with
that
their
not even
promos.
WWE does with unsanctioned matches. They never mention the fact that it's not sanctioned by the company, so it shouldn't exist.
They don't really do unsanctioned matches. They usually just do like street fights or no holds barred.
I mean, the
The only
last,
unsanctioned, yeah, the last one was Ciampa and Gargano, I believe. That's
like
all.
they've had unsanctioned matches in the past.
Yeah.
Unforgiven 2008, Shawn Michaels, Jericho. That SummerSlam 2002 match with Shawn and Hunter.
Yeah, they only do it like once in a while with like blood feuds, but
So it's a rarity.
AEW has been doing it a lot lately with like Janela and Omega, and then Janela and then Mox, doing a lot with
The
Janela.
dark match was unsanctioned.
Yeah, that dark match, yeah, that was an unsanctioned with Kenny and Janela. It was a good match. It was pretty cool, but I don't think
I watched that.
you haven't watched
Yeah, I
that
guess
yet.
that's their way of getting around like the loss being counted against their record. So like they just make it unsanctioned so that he can take a loss and make the other guy look strong.
I mean, I think the story was behind that was like Kenny Omega wanted to prepare for his unsanctioned match with Moxley, so he wanted an unsanctioned match with Janela. So, but that match should be fucking awesome, and I can't wait for that match. It's Omega and Moxley. I mean, I'm not sure. Wait, did they wrestle? My mind is going in blank. Did they wrestle before?
No, they haven't actually wrestled in a match before.
Yeah,
they
because
were set to compete
at All
Out.
Out.
It's just...
Yeah, then Pac took his place. I forgot. So yeah. Mox vs Omega is a fucking dream match, and having it on Sanctioned, it's gonna be a crazy one. And also, sleeper for this card that not a lot of people are talking about, the triple threat tag match, and I know that's probably gonna be
tag division's on fire.
Yeah, I know, but not a lot of people are talking about it though. They're talking about like Pac Hangman and Mox Omega and stuff like that. Not a lot of people are really talking about this, most likely because it just was announced this Wednesday. But it should be fucking awesome. It's probably going to be, as Cam would say, it's going to be on Fast Forward. It's going to be a spot fest, but it's going to be fun as hell. And then that LAX with the Young Bucks should be fucking great too.
That would be a really hot opener, to be honest.
What, the triple threat tag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus you have the two matches that are like main event worthy matches, the Cody and Jericho and Mox.
I mean, LAX versus Young Bucks are main event worthy too, but I can see that going to co-main event maybe.
I feel like that match, even though it has had a solid build, it hasn't had enough. Like, these teams there's more with these teams.
Yeah, they just had the Young Bucks calling them out. Wait, was it the Young Bucks calling them out?
Well, Ortiz and Santana called them out
calling them out, and then LAX responded. The Bucks responded.
Yeah. And that was pretty much their whole build. But it was fun to see them all fight at the end of the Dynamite this week. That was fun. That was a fun ending.
Yeah, that was a chaotic ending. Like, it reminded me of builds to like Survivor Series when like teams would go up against each other in like the parking lot or like in the ring, invasion kind of thing.
I can't wait for Survivor Series.
True.
Oh yeah, Survivor Series weekend looks good. That's fun.
Yeah, it's in Chicago, but I unfortunately did not get tickets because I did not seek them.
I'm so getting giddy just thinking about it.
True. Honestly, this is a good segue. Let's talk about the Survivor Series build up so far.
Wait! You didn't get my thoughts on the thing. Just real quick.
Oh, shoot.
Tag titles.
Yeah,
Lights Out, Hangman and Pac, LAX and Bucks in the main event. Demons out to a good card.
Yeah.
Demons out to a good card with Shawn and Joey being one of the weaker matches, and the women's title matches they're there, I guess. The women's division is rather lacking.
Yeah, it's definitely a weaker division when compared to others. But I feel like with time and more signings, it'll get stronger. But right now,
What,
it's
the
base
women's?
yeah, it's basically their cruiserweight division in a way, but not as bad. Yeah, the AEW's women's
And
division.
I mean, it's all right. They have good women's wrestlers there, but I'm not sure if they really know what to do with them. You know.
Yeah, they're not sure what the
I mean,
women's
sure, they have a
division is.
title, but they don't really have any feuds to
Yeah,
yet. I
Yeah.
know it's
Yeah.
in its infancy, but
The women's title match is just thrown together. At
yeah,
least Priestley and Britt Baker have a feud. They've been
yeah,
going at
they've
it since All Out, I think, or
yeah,
Fight for the
I think they had
Fallen.
that
I don't know.
pre-show match, tag match at Fight for the Fallen
Yeah, they've been going
tag
at it
match.
since then.
yeah.
And this is on
May,
the buy-in for some reason.
yeah. You know what? Maybe they should put more women's matches on AEW Dark. That way, more women's can get like
They actually did that last week, and then they did it this week too.
yeah, so that way like more women can get W's on their win column. So like that can build up somebody to fight Rio because Rio has the best overall record in AEW women's division. She's like 6-2, I think. Although that match doesn't count, well,
Yeah, her
because her
singles is
singles
like 6-1, I think.
6-1, yeah. So she's still 6-1. Overall, I think she's like 6-2 or no, 6-3, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, because she lost a tag match this week.
Yeah. So yeah, they should probably build somebody up like that. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. All right, so let's move on to NXT before we talk about the Saudi show, because I'm actually really excited to talk about like NXT invading SmackDown was so awesome. Like if imagine if something like this happened back in like 2015, like that would have been awesome. Uh, what was your so Cam? What was your thoughts on the SmackDown invasion of NXT?
I have been wanting this to happen ever since they rebooted the brand split in 2016. It's been one of those things that's just I've been clamoring for. Like, imagine how much better 2016 Survivor Series would have been if NXT would have been involved. But now that, but anyway, that's the past. This is now. NXT is in a position now that it's getting a lot more attention, a lot more eyes on it. It's gotten a new TV deal, extended to 2 hours. More attention is being brought to the show. It's was once the underground show that only a handful of people knew, but now casual are starting to get into it, and now they're getting more attention. Like, even if the Fox episode last week's SmackDown was just thrown together at the 11th hour, it still gave NXT a lot of exposure and did wonders for the ratings. Like, it actually gave the ratings and the overall product the shot in the arm that it needed after just having it spin its wheels since Hell in a Cell, and especially after the Hell in a Cell ending, which left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths. Usually Survivor Series season is when they pick up, and sure, the SmackDown versus Raw storyline is kind of old hat in a way since they do it like every single year, but it's always fun when they do it. 2016 had one of the best traditional matches in years. 2017 had a ton of great undercard matches. Last year and 2017 had the really great invasion segments. Last year had the two great title matches, and of course the Becky Lynch invasion segment. This year they're upping the ante with NXT. Overall, I can't wait for NXT for not NXT for Survivor Series, but it means a lot more for NXT because for a lot more NXT and the talent itself because they're coming off of the War Games War Games takeover right after this, so they had to do War Games and the Survivor Series event. Overall, I can't wait.
Yeah, true.
Also, it was very weird that they just like randomly mentioned that there's going to be a second Men's War Games when Ciampa was doing his promo in front of the OC. It was very weird.
I figured it would have been a second War Games match because Adam isn't really going to defend against Ciampa. Like at first, that's what it would have been, but then Keith Lee and Matt Riddle got involved, and then the rest of the Undisputed Era got involved, and that's when I thought, oh yeah, they're doing the second War Games match.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, honestly though, like wrestling is at its best when sometimes it's spontaneous, sometimes it's improv, and a lot of the talent missing from SmackDown, they had to rely on the NXT talent to come in and just on the fly run the show, and it just showed you know improving can be so good and less scripting can be so well done, and I think that's what happened on last Friday's SmackDown. It was really a very refreshing show, and of course it's not going to be the same this week, but I hope they kind of learned their lesson. You don't have to overly script just so Vince can tear up the script and an hour before the show. Sometimes you just got to keep it simple, and I guess that's what happened. They kept it simple, and it ended up being one of the best shows, best SmackDowns in a really long time. And Ziggler, what were your thoughts on the on NXT invasion of SmackDown and also the Raw invasion?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the NXT SmackDown invasion, like you said, it was the best. It was the best SmackDown on the Fox debut since the Fox debut, and it's been the best SmackDown on Fox. And I mean, yeah, we got a dream match, Adam Cole versus Daniel Bryan, and it was great. I mean, well, it was good. I'm not sure if it was great, but yeah, it was. I don't know. Yeah, like you basically just
It was
said
pretty good,
everything. Yeah,
enjoyable match.
yeah. Like I didn't really much enjoy the Ciampa versus the Miz match because I'm not a Miz fan, but I enjoyed seeing Ciampa though, and
It was there, I guess.
yeah. And then it was weird having Rhea Ripley with Tegan Knox. I mean, it was kind of out of character for Rhea Ripley, but it's whatever. I guess they were just setting up for the War Games or whatever. But yeah, other than that, it was still an enjoyable. It was an enjoyable SmackDown. And then the Raw, I actually watched Raw live for the first time in a little while because NXT was invading, and yeah, it was great. I mean, that whole Undisputed Era and the OC thing was awesome for as long as it lasted. It wasn't like a big thing, but it was like a little thing, and got to enjoy the little moments like that. And yeah, that set up with what happened with NXT when the OC attacked the Undisputed Era before the show started. And yeah, I mean their match on NXT was fine, I guess. Uh, with Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, and Tommaso Ciampa. But yeah, it was a fine match, and it was awesome to see AJ Styles in an NXT ring. I mean, I never would have thought we'd see AJ Styles in NXT. It was unbelievable, really. And yeah, this whole invasion angle with NXT and SmackDown and Raw on the road to Survivor Series is just so fun and so awesome. And it's great seeing these crossovers. I fucking love it.
Yeah, very true. I honestly can't wait for Survivor Series. Like, just talk a little bit about the Survivor Series card, which we will get into before the Survivor Series. But like, they had the build to this overall build to Survivor Series actually has been really good. With the NXT, and also they have the Rey Mysterio versus Brock Lesnar announced for Survivor Series, which still kind of makes sense for Survivor Series because I guess in a way it's a SmackDown star versus a Raw star, but also the feud itself has been really interesting seeing Ray attack Brock and like Brock actually selling for Ray. It's actually really fun. And if given at least 15 to 20 minutes, their match can be like a classic, honestly.
Ray should win.
Honestly, wouldn't even mind. Like,
You could
because
give it 5 minutes. You could give it 10 minutes. You could just keep it compact. Even like, what was the average time length of AJ and Brock, AJ Bryan, not AJ Bryan,
It was like
It was like
18
Bryan.
minutes.
yeah, 15 to 18 minutes, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm talking about, the matches, yeah.
Yeah, the Survivor Series matches.
15 or so minutes, like
Yeah.
less than 10 minutes. If they give it that instead of having it be a squash, it can be one of the best matches of the entire show.
But the Seth Rollins and Finn Balor matches were like 10 minutes, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pay-per-view. Brock's not going to just work for 30 seconds. Because here's the thing. Maybe for SmackDown's opening, for Friday opening show, early October, maybe they should have paid Brock Lesnar pay-per-view money to have a 15-minute match with Kofi Kingston.
They had like 10 minutes left in the. I'm still not over this. They had like 10 minutes of runtime left for the entire episode, and they just gave it that. It could have gone like 5 minutes.
Kofi lost in 3 seconds, but Ray's possibly gonna last like 10 minutes with Brock Lesnar. It's ridiculous.
It should have went like 10 minutes and like not 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and then you do the Cain Velasquez stuff.
I know it's probably like very, very unlikely, but I so want Ray to win. I mean, he deserves this WWE title. He's one of the greatest of all times, and the last time he held it was the last time, and the first time he held it was for like an hour and a half, and that was disgraceful.
He deserves at least one decently long reign. I don't care if it's like a Jeff Hardy like reign where it lasts a month or something. At least he has a reign. It's in the record books and isn't 60 or like 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean anything better than his world title run from like 2006 would be good. But yeah, I do like the idea of Ray winning and like having some matches with guys like Cedric Alexander. Who else? Like, I don't know, like Humberto Carrillo, like Buddy Murphy, Ali. But yeah, like have.
I like to see him face Styles. Has he faced Styles?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't recall if he faced Styles, but it'd be dope to see AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio for the WWE title. That'd be dope.
Yeah, like honestly, like give 3 months with the Ray, like until like Royal Rumble, like that would be a solid run.
Also, how are they going to do the traditional Survivor Series match if it's like if it's like three shows?
Dude,
how are they going to do?
I forgot.
Like, cause usually they do one for the tag teams and for the women.
Yeah, and for the men.
Yeah, they haven't even mentioned.
I know the men one. That's probably going to be like Rollins and Undisputed Era.
Yeah, but like there's like 3 teams to hold in the match. It's not going to work.
Is Survivor Series on November 23rd or is it on November 16th?
I don't know what fucking day it is.
24th, I think, is what it said.
Oh, 24th. Okay, so it's like the last. Well, not the last. Okay, the last week of November, or like second last.
They have a ton of time to bleed. It's just, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of guess who's gonna be on Team Raw and SmackDown. Like Raw's probably gonna be similar to what Team Hogan was, and SmackDown's
gonna like, is it? I still don't know how it's gonna work though. It's like it's a triple threat. What, 20, 30-man tag team match?
You know what? Hold on. What if they instead of
15?
Okay, instead of doing NXT versus SmackDown versus Raw, what if for the traditional Survivor Series match they do main roster 5 versus NXT 5?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Like,
that's a better idea.
Like that.
Yeah, I think they should definitely consider that idea. Yeah. It's less messy and it actually kind of makes sense because main roster stars could be like, oh, we can't let these NXT guys just
And
run
NXT
roughshod
has been
around.
invading both the shows.
Exactly, so it makes sense. Like it would be main roster versus
Yeah.
NXT.
Get like freaking Adam Cole in there, Gargano, Ciampa, Velveteen Dream.
Honestly, this whole pay-per-view could have been main roster versus NXT, but they're ending up doing like these triple threat matches. Like it's like that.
a fine
It's like
concept
Well, they
on
only got
paper.
2 triple threat matches.
It's
They-
the women's
might do a
triple
third.
threat with Bailey, Beck, and Shayna, and
I mean,
the all
that tag
former
team
tag
triple
champs.
threat match is gonna be that's gonna be a fucking banger. They give that time.
True. Also, they might do like a mid-card triple threat with Nakamura, Styles, and Roderick Strong.
That's a fucking dream match right there.
Right.
Like, let's just keep the 3 title matches at that, and just try to focus on whatever else that they.
Yeah, they're not doing the main title triple threat match.
No, they're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
that would have been
don't
weird for
do
Adam
anything
Cole.
with the Fiend just yet. Just add a little bit of mystique to it.
So
and
what?
then,
Just don't let him be on Survivor Series.
It has nothing to do, so no.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the Fiend needs a match. Like he might end up facing Rollins, but that's so old and boring. They shouldn't do that.
Like
Rollins should be on the
leave
traditional tag
Rollins
team
out of
match.
it. Just,
He should be on the Survivor Series tag team match.
Right. He should be a member of the main roster team. He can even turn on main roster and help like invasion style.
That
Like-
whole promo with Triple H got me thinking, what if he goes to Undisputed Era?
Exactly.
What if he goes to NXT?
Yeah, what if that's Undisputed Era's main roster, like official debut? Like they come out as Seth
But they
Rollins
have all the
henchmen.
champions though. They have all the championships.
they gotta lose all the belts before they show
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, like
And they can't do that at War Games unless it's winner takes all.
I mean, it would be
Probably
shocking
not.
if it happened though. So like they can pull that off.
Yeah.
Sure.
What?
Like
Keith Lee and Matt Riddle get the tag team titles. Ciampa gets the world title, and
Right.
maybe Velveteen Dream is going to be in the match. And
yeah.
For somebody other. It might be Velveteen. It might be somebody
Yeah,
else.
and then going forward, they can do Finn Balor.
it's not going to be
versus-
Johnny because they're going to do Balor versus Johnny and
Yeah,
Probably the
War
other
Games.
match.
they can do a triple threat too, like in the future, like Johnny Gargano versus Ciampa versus Balor. That could be a Mania weekend match.
I honestly can't wait for Johnny versus Balor at War Games. It's going to be so good.
True.
If they're going to go that direction, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and obviously we just talked about one of the reasons NXT invaded SmackDown, and SmackDown being so awesome was because a lot of the talent was missing from the show. Now, what do you guys think about this whole Saudi drama where you had crew members and WWE wrestlers stranded in Saudi as Vince left, Brock left, and apparently there were mechanical issues, but a lot of reports are saying that Vince and the Prince of Saudi Arabia, I think, had disagreements on the money owed from the last show, and now they apparently had wrestlers held hostage or something like that. That's what a lot of wrestlers were thinking, and this whole situation was just so bizarre and weird, and everybody was criticizing WWE for leaving their men stranded in Saudi. And it definitely wasn't a good look on the company's part, as it made Vince look like he doesn't really care about the talent. And they even did like a public statement where they kind of buried the talent who didn't charter their own separate planes. They were like, oh, we had talent that felt strong enough to make it back to the US for the Friday show, that they chartered their own plane. And it was like, wait, so the rest of them don't care about coming back? That's kind of what it seemed like. And this whole situation spiraled onto Twitter, where Dave Meltzer was talking about how Seth Rollins gave this whole speech on Monday he was like, keep this incident off of social media. Like management was blaming talent for ballooning up the situations. Like it was just a crazy situation. So, what did you guys think about this whole Saudi drama? Ziggler, what were your thoughts?
I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't really care about it, to be honest. I mean, who they're back home, they're safe, they're good. It's just, I mean, yes, it was bad that they were stranded in Saudi, but it was also very good for the SmackDown show because have not they would have gone on the plane and come back and be on the show, the SmackDown probably would have been a lot different and just would have probably been more the same, maybe. I'm not even sure if NXT was scheduled to be on SmackDown at all, even before they got stranded in Saudi. But yeah, it sucks for them, but it is what it is. You can't help it. So maybe it's Vince's fault, maybe it's not. I don't know. Who am I to say?
Yeah, and like apparently there was rumors that a lot of talent were saying like this situation was the last breaking straw. Like they were like, you know what, we're not gonna come to Saudi anymore. And apparently the payments for every Saudi show has been decreasing. Like it isn't as high as the first show they did back in 2018. Like apparently the pay isn't even that great anymore. So
yeah, because the shows suck.
Yeah, so a lot of towns are like, you know what, we're not coming back to Saudi anymore.
Good.
And some of them are like, we can't wait to leave the company. Like a lot of people are like legit mad over the situation.
I mean, you gotta give it to Daniel Bryan and Sami Zayn too. Like they're not going there. I forgot why, but I know they're not because they don't like Saudi or something like that.
Sami is Syrian, and Syria and Saudi don't have the best relationship.
Yeah.
What about Daniel Bryan?
Oh, Daniel Bryan doesn't like Saudi. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so you gotta have respect for both of them, not go.
Meanwhile, I know they need the money, but at the sake of your talent, you gotta be joking me. Like, your talent comes before the pay.
Yeah, that's true. Like, it was really irresponsible. Like, even like the U.S. government somehow got involved. They were like, "Oh, this is very unethical the way you guys did that," and
this is the second time that the outside world has gotten involved with the guys and Saudi. The first one was having them trying to pull out a crown jewel last year, and now they're doing this. Maybe the deal isn't the best. Sure, the money is it's making money. But what's the point if all you're getting is if all you're getting into is hot water and red flags are waving and everyone is pissed at you and wants your neck?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like Vince just wants the blood money, man. Like these Saudi shows are so creepy and awful most of the time, man. It's just blood
money. You're practically shooting yourself in the foot every single time.
Yeah, and the worst part is they're gonna keep going back there until 2027, which is god awful. They're going back 2 times a year too. Like I don't know. Every time they go there, it's like it's a new controversy every single time.
30 by the time that contract expires.
Oh my god! Like yeah, seriously.
Will this podcast even make it to 2027?
I don't even know. Like hopefully Saudi doesn't outlast us. Like these creepy shows don't outlast us. But I don't know. It is what it is. Like, I guess
they'll probably pull out of the contract. Some disputes might happen.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that video and make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And click on the channel to check out some more awesome videos like our movie and wrestling debates and our interviews with people like the Wrestling Classic and Jordan Jomo from the IGWC. and we are definitely looking into delivering you all some more content in the near future, so definitely be on the lookout for that. And thank you for your support.